Hello everybody, this is Adam from Wheel Guns for Wheel Men, and today we're not going to be really focusing on guns as much as we are survival. And I am by no means an expert in survival or bugging out. And if you really want to learn a lot from people who know what they're talking about, good YouTubers would be Mike Glover. He's at Fieldcraft Survival, and I think he has his own channel. And also Grantham, seems like he knows what he's doing. But if you just want to see what my setup is, you know, just some Joe Blow who doesn't really know much about it, but, you know, I camp out in the woods, you know, for a few days here and there, chucker season and deer season, so for stuff like that, I put together a bug out bag, and I did that at the beginning of COVID, and so we're just gonna, I haven't opened it since I built it like a year and a half ago, so I'm gonna go through this bug out bag and just show you what I had put in it and see if I can't think of any reason to swap stuff out. And this bag is really quite heavy. It's more for like throwing into a vehicle along with like a tent and sleeping bag, and it's gonna be kind of heavy if you have to actually carry it through the woods, but I figured better to pack it heavy, keep it in the car, and then we can always make it lighter if I had to actually abandon the vehicle. So, in the side pocket, got easy access to gummy bears, some beef jerky, more gummy bears, some floss, and you know, toothbrush, toothpaste. Good to have dental hygiene. The gummy bears and the jerky, they're going to have a lot more protein and sugar, and so you're going to get a lot more energy from them, and they don't weigh very much. And we got a bag containing a spoon fork combo. Front pocket, going to have some hand warmers. Up here in Idaho, it gets pretty cold depending on what part of the year you're going to be bugging out in. Got some lens wipes. Got a whistle compass. DEET-free bug repellent, definitely want that. And then also 50 rounds of standard velocity CCI 22 long rifle. Weighs hardly nothing, and you can take hares with it, squirrels, and other small game to eat. And then I got this Ruger LCP 2 mag because that's the gun I always have on me, so may as well have a spare mag. Preloaded. In this pocket we have Oregon Duck's hooded poncho. So you want food, you want the ability to purify water, you want shelter from the elements, you want ways to make heat and to keep rain and cold out. More hand warmers. And then some paracord, very useful. You can use it to help set up different sorts of shelters using tarps and such. Also use it to lift things, you know. Use leverage in order to make the most out of your strength. And we got a little pot, a little metal pot that you can use to cook things over a fire. And now for the main compartment. I have not one, but 2 life straws. Pack of Kleenex. Duraflame. If you don't know how to make a fire easily, a lot easier to have a lighter and some Duraflame logs. A cheap multi-tool. Can't hurt to have that. Weighs pretty, pretty light. Tarp. Use that for shelter. You can also use it as a roof. Use it as a bottom. If you have a tent, you can throw that down first. Keep the any rain out of your tent. Got this. It's a Tomahawk, and you can use it mainly for wood splitting and stuff. It can also be a weapon if need be. These really aren't weighted very well for throwing, but you could also use it as a ranged weapon. Water bottle. It's always good to have a way to just carry water, especially if you're going around and you're going to a stream and you can fill this water bottle up and throw in some purifying tablets, or you can just fill up with water and then use your life straw to drink out of it. Floss and Listerine. Again, you don't want like a abscess tooth or bad gingivitis when you're out in the woods in the apocalypse. And again, this doesn't have to be for the apocalypse. This could be for any number of things. Could be natural disaster like Hurricane Katrina. That's the thing that I think of most. Could be a Red Dawn scenario nowadays with Russia being all aggressive. Doubtful. But it's always fun to prepare for, being Patrick Swayze. Hand towel. Good to have something to wipe your hands on. Got some change of underwear, you want that. Don't want to get a yeast infection in your groin area. And these don't expire until 2050. And so these Mountain Home Adventure Meals are a pretty good thing to keep. They also weigh hardly anything. This one's lasagna. This is chicken fried rice. Haven't had the lasagna one. Kind of a gamble putting that in there. Chicken fried rice I've had out deer hunting. Tastes pretty good. We also have breakfast ones. Chicken teriyaki is also a good one. More hand warmers. In every pocket you find hand warmers, and the reason for that is I'm kind of a pansy when it comes to the cold. I come from like down in Texas, and I hate being cold, and my hands get really cold, and so keep a lot of these around. Let's see here. Yes, this is a fun tool. I'm not going to pull it all the way out, but it is a foldable spade, a little shovel, so you can dig a fire pit, dig a little outhouse, dig a trench to drain water away, from your campsite or something if need be, or if you want to divert water from a stream. Oh, got some sweatpants and a t-shirt. Multi-purpose lighters, $3.99. Again, this is also a bug out bag when I didn't have much money. I assembled this. All of this can be had for like $250. Everything in here combined, minus the bag. So the bag costs like $60. But all the contents are very cheap. You could have a much nicer setup if you have more money. But this is, again, more for someone with a budget, that they're trying to adhere to because either they have to or they just want to. So again, this combined with the Duraflame log, pretty useful. One of the most useful inventions that mankind has made is duct tape. I've used it to quickly get a bunch of little cactus needles out of my hand. I fell on a cactus, get a bunch of needles, could pluck them out one by one. I learned it's much easier just to wax them off, basically, like you're getting waxed at a spa. And so take a piece of duct tape, put it on gently, but firmly enough to adhere to them, and then just rip it off, you got most of them out. Also, you can repair a tent with it. Done that before. Both the tent like material and also the little plastic things that become the two rods. Have one of those break one of the pieces of plastic. Little blanket. You can either use it for warmth, or if it's already warm outside, you can just use it for extra padding underneath your sleeping bag, if you have a sleeping bag. Oh yeah, some more shirts. Again, you don't want yeast infections under your armpit or anything, so change your clothes, especially if they get wet. Skull face mask. If you have bad allergies, COVID taught me that face masks are nice because it keeps allergens out, dust, pollen, etc. Also, skull face mask makes you look scary if you're gonna be, Mad Maxing it out. Oh, these are pretty important. If it gets getting cold, you got thermal top, thermal bottom. Also, in the apocalypse, you're not gonna have street lights or any other sort of lights, so flashlights are useful. Then got some nice thick socks, some smaller socks, then 2 brand new towels with some plastic, keep them from getting moist or damp before you want them to. Yeah, and that's the extent of it. Things I would add. I would probably go back and add a first aid kit. That'd be something I would definitely want to add to this. Tourniquet. Ham radio, if you have that. Night vision, if you can afford the $3,000 it takes to get that set up, or more probably for nicer ones. And then the other thing that I forgot to add to there, but is very useful in my experience, trash bags. Large black trash bags. They weigh next to nothing. They can provide warmth. You can use them like a sleeping bag kind of. They keep things dry. Both you can just throw your whole bug out bag into one of the bags and tie it off to keep the whole bag from getting wet. You can throw, if you already have a campsite set up, you can throw stuff into the trash bag and tie it off and tuck it under itself and stop that from getting wet. You can cut a trash bag, rip it up and make it into like a tarp and put that underneath the tent or in the bottom on the inside of the tent. Either way will keep your sleeping bag from getting wet. So a lot of uses of a trash bag. Also, if you're foraging for acorns or something, or other sorts of food, or even dead animals, I probably wouldn't because you get blood on the inside, but point is you can use it when you're out foraging. You can also put water in it if it's, doesn't have any holes. Fill it up with a lot of water, take it back, purify all of that water. It's very useful. So, yeah. Trash bags are probably the lightest weight, most useful thing. So I get a couple very large black non-scented trash bags. You do not want some chemical scent on your water or whatever food you're scavenging. And so that's my cheap poor man's bug out bag. Hopefully that was useful and you learned something and got an idea of something you should add to yours if you have one, or perhaps now you can just have a starting point if you are going to make one and you just don't have a bug out bag at all. And again, this is more of a really heavy car transport one. If you want something lighter, you should probably take out a couple of these heavier items, like maybe the shovel, the pot, and make a backpack, Not this. This is bigger than a backpack. It has wheels though, and little carry handles, so you could use it more like luggage. Anyways, hopefully that was helpful. Please like and subscribe.